welcome back, boys and girls, or nerd friends, to episode 60 of the Nerd Chills podcast.
60, woo!
I can't believe there's 60 episodes. That's
I know.
crazy.
We're gonna retire soon. I don't know. We're gonna have to hang it up. With us, as always, is CJ. Welcome back, CJ.
I really feel like it should be like 60 episode 1 because now Charlie's in charge. So she does the intro. So we might as well just start the series over at this point.
Wow. Just reboot. Nerd Chills reboot.
Just reboot. Won't be as good as the first 60, but we'll get there.
We can recast everyone.
Oh my gosh.
I want Brad Pitt to play me.
That is sitting in our technically first chair. It's kind of confusing now. Is Adam. Welcome back, Adam.
Oh, hello.
And then sitting in our fourth chair
Woot woot.
is
it's me.
Robin.
Hello.
Hello again. So we're going to go through our normal segments, our top 3, all that stuff. This week for our main topic, we're going to talk about all this business about how terrible video games are and how people need to wait until they're older to play them or have another ratings board like we don't already have one.
So, no.
It's been pretty interesting
Yeah.
week in politics for that stuff, so we're going to talk about that. But first things first, CJ, what have you been playing?
Oh, I knew she was going to pick me to go first. I have been playing a little bit of League of Legends, a little bit of PlayerUnknown's, a little bit of Monster Hunter. That's about it. Those 3 things. I started playing Clash Royale again and made it a whole 4 days before I was like, this game sucks. But it really doesn't suck. I'm just really bad.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. I've had a lot of fun.
Cool.
Long
How does
week.
is Monster Hunter like level or levels? What level are you? No.
Oh, Hunter
I'm
ranks.
Hunter rank 15 now. I haven't really I've been really
Wow.
just grinding for gear instead of trying to like advance the story.
That's
So-
crazy.
And I'm stuck on trying to kill one of like the elder dragons because you have to do it solo or people have to join on like the little SOS flare system, which is like a looking for help thing. And not a lot of people join to come fight those, so I've had to kill them myself a couple times and it's pretty rough.
You had to kill yourself.
What the fuck?
Well,
So-
that's cool. Okay. So Robin, what have you been playing?
This weekend was way too much Sea of Thieves because they reopened the beta.
I'm sorry,
for
what?
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves!
That's the correct pronunciation.
Okay, now I understand.
So there was a lot of that. I think we played it for like 6 or 7 hours.
Oh my god.
It was, yeah. Because I think
pirate life.
they opened the beta up for only 2 days, right? Yeah, or something like that. So we played it for the entirety of one whole day, and then I just got Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet, and that game is really pretty and very long and full of dialogue. I was just like, why are they talking so much?
Are you just doing your normal Robin thing, like a spam?
No, because, like, I haven't watched season 2 of SAO yet, so
What?
it, like, goes through the entire story.
Oh my god.
So you have to, like, actually read it to know what's going on. But
Wow.
there's so much dialogue. It's nice, though, because everything's dubbed. So you're actually listening to people talk instead of just
Reading.
reading. Yeah. So it's
Yeah, who reads? It's for the Neanderthals.
Well, you have to read it anyway, because it's only in Japanese.
Well, you know, at least they're speaking.
Yeah.
It's not just like reading while there's silence.
Right. And then you're like, oh, you can't see my face. I'm falling asleep.
I'm sure if there's mouth movement, it's probably not like Monster Hunter where the mouth is still moving after the sentence ended
Oh my
4
god,
minutes
that
ago.
drives me nuts.
Yeah. And then Monster Hunter today.
Oh, cool.
Yep. Trying to go forward in the storyline.
What hunter rank are you?
11,
Okay,
I think. 10. 10. 10 is the one.
that's cool.
But
You're
yeah.
not too far behind
Uh,
CJ.
yeah,
CJ's just an
hopefully.
overachiever.
Yeah.
I'm not. The highest person on my friends list is like 68.
What the fuck?
I
So
bet
I'm
my
not even
friend Sophie
close.
is at 68.
No free time. Well, take comfort, friends, for I think I'm still 1. I'm assuming. Is there anything before 1? Because if not, I would be that.
It's just a thumbs
0?
down.
0.5?
It says hunter rating thumbs down. You're basically an NPC that doesn't even give out quests.
Press B to
With one
jump.
of those little cats customized NPC.
The Palicos are pretty badass, actually.
I love my Palico. It's so cool.
I can't wait to dress mine up.
Sometimes my Palico is better than some of the people that joined to play with me.
It's totally fucking true.
Because they have the Vigor Wasp stuff too, so they're like flying around and healing you. And
Yeah.
damn it,
I have this new one that's the Coral Drum or whatever. So every once in a while he'll play. It's basically like having a hunting horn in your party. So he'll just buff me like crazy.
Wow.
that's kind of cool. I got a thing from one of the bug trappers, where you can stop monsters by just putting this cage down, and it just has like a bug in it, and I don't know, it's supposed to stop monsters in their tracks or something.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I wonder how that works.
I gotta try it out. I just got it.
Well, I'll go next because I know Adam wants to talk a lot about Sea of Thieves.
See ya, Thieves.
I was on vacation, so I took all my mobile shit, and I think I turned my Switch on once. I did play a lot of Hatsune Miku on DS because I had never gotten very far with it.
Really?
I played the entire Vita one and beat that shit, and I have still not gotten very far. Like, I hadn't even unlocked all the songs
Really?
in the DS one. I don't know why. I think it's the buttons and the, A, B, X, Y.
Yeah.
But it's just my brain can't get past that, so I can never do very well on the DS. So I played a crap load of that.
You said you were on
Nice.
vacation? Can
I
I tell the
was.
people where you were?
Yeah, I went to Panama City, Panama.
Panama!
Oh my god.
Of course.
Sorry about that. Keep going.
Anyways, so then I got back into Animal Crossing a little bit, and I was so confused. I was like, what are these balloons? What is all this shit going on?
What are the
all these new
balloons?
animals. They're just like random balloons of supplies that, like, you know how they used to float by and you'd shoot them down
Yeah.
in the regular game? Well, now they're just like floating around the islands.
And you tap it or something.
You can see it on your little map, and you just touch it, and it gives you extra supplies.
Oh,
But-
something was like
Cool.
you just throw your phone against the ground or something.
You shake
Shake
your
it.
phone violently. The motion you did, though.
I know. I'm so sorry.
That was not exactly shaking.
Yeah,
You
no.
can't see my hands.
It's like shake
Sorry.
weight, shaking
Yeah,
it.
that was a shake weight shake. Once you get done shaking it, it sprays cool down lotion in your face and then change
Gives you
falls
some
on the bottom of
change.
her cap there.
But yeah, so I just played my mobile games, and that was about it. Adam, what did you play?
I did play a lot of Monster Hunter this past week. It was
Sea of
very fun.
Thieves. Sorry, I was ready to shout that already.
Too soon. It was pretty awesome. The game is terribly addicting.
Are you the same hunter rank as Robin?
Yes, we are almost at the
Twinsies.
exact same spot in the campaign. We're both at around 47 hours played.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
That's quite a bit.
I can't imagine how much time that person who has like level 60 something,
Right?
like,
Imagine if you
Jesus
just grinded
Christ.
the main quest like to its end, and then all of a sudden just went after anything it could.
probably.
Probably go pretty high because we spent a lot of time hunting for.
Well, once you get to the issue, it's kind of the same issue I'm having. Once you hit high rank, it actually then your gear starts to matter. So you spend more time trying to grind for the right gear.
That's kind of what we've been doing, is grinding gear just kind of for fun to get complete sets before moving forward. At least I have.
I haven't.
I've upgraded a bunch of times, and like now I have like my main weapon. I have like 6 different versions of it. So I have like a thunder version, an ice version, a fire version, a water version, so I can switch out whenever I need to.
Every time you guys say grinding gears or grinding for gear, I'm just like,
You
you
know
know what
what
really
grinds
grinds my
my
gears?
And both of you right now. That's what it is.
If you want, so he has put 10 days, 2 hours, and 54 minutes of time in.
Oh my
Holy fuck.
gosh.
It's like 10 straight days. Like,
I
that's
just
not like
don't
he
have-
played for 10
I don't have
days.
time. in
Yeah,
my life.
I have to work,
No.
and I'm
Yeah.
sure that person does too. But man,
I have school.
Yeah,
Maybe
he's
he
actually a
doesn't sleep.
firefighter.
not a lot of fires going on right now.
A lot of fire
Maybe-
going on.
Maybe he's just sitting at the fire station
Yeah.
waiting for the fires.
That
That's a
makes
good
sense.
thing. No fires. Woo.
So yeah, played that, and I played Sea of Thieves. And
Every time I think firefighter, I'm sorry, I'm like super hot dudes.
is that what you think?
That's
Yeah.
rarely the case.
Yeah.
Every time I think
know.
Really
firefighter,
rare.
I think starting a fire and then putting it out with my urine and going ding 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 ding.
That's
ding, ding,
fireman.
ding, fireman.
That's not firefighter.
When you're an adult, it's firefighter. Okay? You don't know what fires I start, Charlie. Yeah, and then Sea of Thieves, which was super fun. I came up with a persona for my Twitch channel.
Oh, yeah.
I call my followers fuck nuggets. Yep, it's really fun.
He said it like 15 times.
I said it
one
like
stream.
50 times in one
And
stream.
you
It
call
was
yourself
6 hours long.
Dr. Unrespectful.
I'm a professor. I can't remember what my name was. Although I remember this. We named our boat the Chum Guzzler. And then we realized it had I can't remember what was on the front of it, but we decided it was named the Chum Guzzling Queen after that.
Oh my
So
god.
that was fun.
It was a shark on the front.
Was it a shark?
It was a
female.
shark.
It was a lady shark. So it makes sense because they eat chum.
Right.
Yeah, they pop out of the water and they just throw it on their
But
face.
like he rubbed off on my friend so much because we were in game chat, and so my friend was just launching himself at other ships, and he's just like, "What's up, fuck nuggets?" I'm like, I hate you so much.
It was great. It was
Oh
like I had a
my
full blown
God.
voice for it and everything. I was like,
Oh.
"Welcome back, fuck nuggets!" No, 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 no. And then at one point we sunk a ship, and I was like, "They got straight pounded with new lube." And yeah, it was really fun.
Wow.
So
You've changed.
I know it's changed so much in this past week.
Twitch has changed you.
I had
like
4
it does
people watching
anybody.
me at once for about 10 minutes.
You were too
got-
high up there.
I was just riding high on the viewers.
Too close to
so-
the sun.
And game is really fun, especially when you have 4 people. Like we had the person that understood sailing the best actually like steering the ship and telling us where they want us to change the sails to.
That would be really frustrating
So-
if it's not like remotely realistic. They're like, no, starboard.
We were literally
Oh,
going.
yeah.
We were saying port and starboard, and
Oh
we
my
learned
God.
like port is left because left has 4 letters, so does port. Right is 5, so starboard has more than 4. So we were like using the nautical terms, which was just really fun to do because then you fuck stuff
has
up.
5 points.
Starboard.
They're like, man, the gangplank. No, I don't know.
But yeah, we had a lot of fun with it, and every ship we came across, we fucking annihilated. And then like,
Until the last one when
the
we
end of
got
the-
fucking face fucked.
that's 100% not true, you dramatic bitch. So
Fake
what
news.
happened was we showed up to destroy a ship, and we were doing a really good job. They were very good. They understood how to like turn to keep us away from them, and
Turning the boat, very important.
then realized pretty quickly that there was 2 other fucking galleons there. So it was 4 4-player boats all in one area. We wound up sinking 2 of them, and then we were sunk. In our defense, we entered that first battle having no cannonballs. So we were just doing whatever we could to sink the other ship, and we still managed to survive till second last. So
Wow.
it was super fucking fun, and it actually saved progress. So when I went back to play it again on Saturday, I had all the shit I had done from Friday still there. So I had all my Admiral gear, and it's really fun.
You think that's going to carry over into the main game?
I don't think so, and I wouldn't want it to be
Ooh.
honest with you. But like because I know like what the islands' names are, so if I get a map where it's like, oh, there's treasure on this island, it just shows you a picture of the island.
I'm pretty sure you can't say it that way.
What?
You're going to have to say something like, there be treasure.
There be treasure on this island.
Treasure.
Treasure. But yeah, you just get a picture of what an island is, and you have to look through the map like, okay, what looks like this? Now it's like I look and I'm like, oh yeah, that's Chicken Isle. Like that's Thieves Isle. I know what
Oh
these
my
are
god.
now.
Yeah, it was like, this one looks like a kunai, or this one looks like 2 balls.
Yeah, we're trying to describe
Just
it
like-
in the grossest terms possible.
Two
but
Ball
realistically,
Island,
2 Ball Island. Yeah, it's on there. But yeah, it was super fucking fun. I'm really excited for it to come out. And if I have 3 people to play with, I probably will play the shit out of this game. So,
Well, Robin and I have
Game
Game Pass,
Pass.
so we'll be able to play day 1 for free.
yup. I'm really excited. Like I'm really excited. But
Yeah, I haven't
Robin-
pre-ordered.
Robin played, but I don't think she enjoyed it as much as the rest
It
of
was
us.
okay.
She didn't get bored. I don't think any of us ever got bored. And at one point, we're like, it's been like 2 or 3 hours already. When
And then
got
we
to the-
kept playing.
When we got to the 5-hour mark, I was like, we need to go to bed. And it was like 360 minutes on my stream. I'm like,
Oh my god.
we're going to fucking bed. And then we got sunk, so we're like,
man.
this feels right. And then we all went to the main town, stood outside the bar,
Got shit face.
we got drunk, and then we played our accordions to like end the night. And then we got struck by lightning because the storm came in, and we're like,
Wow.
what?
But we launched ourselves out of all the cannons
Yeah,
at
we
the
did
same
that.
time.
We all died when we landed. My favorite thing about the thing was like we all just started role playing a little bit. Like you start role playing a character whenever you play a video game, and I was just like, I've decided that my character has a drinking problem, and there's 10 charges basically. There's 10 refills for your booze for your cup, and I drank all of them on our boat. And was so pissed drunk I couldn't stand straight. Like if you just take your hand off the controller, your character just sways back and forth and pukes everywhere.
Wow.
So I puked all over our boat, fell off of it, eventually made my way back to it, and then when we were fighting a smaller boat, got in a cannon, shot myself to their boat, got onto it, and they're like, look for treasure, and they're talking to me through game chat, like, go to their hull or whatever you call it and look for treasure. And I went down there, and they had a full keg of beer. So I just got fucking shit-faced and puked all over their boat and jumped off of it.
Wow.
It was just really fun. It was very
They
fun.
banished me to the brig.
We did test out how the brig system works. If some player is acting like an asshole,
I wasn't acting like an asshole.
the majority of the crew, or I think it might be unanimous, has to be, can banish them to the brig, where you're basically locked in a jail cell where they can release you, or you have to like it's like a timeout for like 3 or 4 minutes game like
Wow.
actual time where like you don't get to do
Jesus
anything.
Christ.
Usually at that point, if someone's being a troll
If I
and you get
would've left.
banished, you just leave.
Yeah.
But yeah, we banished her, and then we brought her back because we felt bad.
My friend got kicked out for being AFK or something, and some rando came in.
We were
and
gonna
so
fuck with him until he quit.
Yeah, well, my friend messaged him, and he was like, send that rando to the brig. Like,
And we just told him like, hey bro, like we have a fourth. You've been really nice, so we don't want to do that too. He's like, oh okay, and he quit, clearly butthurt. So
Aw.
I was like, yeah, we should have sent him to the brig.
That poor guy.
Right.
He probably listens and now he knows.
Oh,
Now he
God.
knows. He was like, are you Adam from Nerd Chills? I was like, oh my god, a fan. There's so many of you fuck nuggets.
Get him out of here.
oh my god.
Wow.
So no motion sickness from playing though over there, Robin?
I was getting sick in the beginning, and then we played it so much.
You got used to it, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
It's not always like motion
Yeah.
intense. Like when you're on an island or when it's not choppy seas, it's not very bad. When it's choppy seas like that,
And it's storming.
then
and,
I can understand
yeah.
if you're like, oh fuck, I'm gonna actually throw up. So
Wow.
Cool.
yeah,
Well, good,
good
stuff.
times.
Yeah.
Yep. We had to distract ourselves from the lack of Charlie being around. So
Right, because normally...
because she was in Panama.
Oh, jeez.
Panama. We're used to you blowing us off on Monster Hunter.
I was going to say, there's no one there to be like, sorry, I have to work when
Right.
you guys wanted to play Monster Hunter, and then you just
Exactly.
go on without me.
We didn't know what we were gonna do.
Okay, well, going in reverse order.
True Blood next. I actually don't think. That's a lie. Since the last show, we went to L.A., we went downtown Hollywood, and we watched Black Panther.
Wow.
Black
Yeah,
Panther.
almost
we saw it at the El Capitan.
Glazed over it.
Yeah, almost forgot about it. But I will say,
You call him Black Falcon. the whole time?
probably the best Marvel movie I've seen in like 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
It
It's
definitely
amazing.
has the most developed villain I've seen in a Marvel movie, maybe ever. I think realistically since Magneto. Because all the Marvel villains you see are like ne'er-do-wells, like, oh, they're a bad guy. There's no character growth whatsoever. They're
Yeah,
just there for
they're
plot.
just bad.
And like at the end of the movie, like Rob and I like looked at each other like, man, that guy got fucked. Like I
Yeah.
feel so bad for that guy. Like
Yeah.
the whole time you watch, like you see the bad guy doing stuff, you're like, I don't agree with anything he's doing, but I completely understand why he's doing it. And you like want to see some form of redemption.
That's cool.
And I won't spoil anything about the ending, but realistically, at the end of the movie, when we were walking out, I was like, that was fucking great.
Wow.
And then when I was reading reviews online, they all were pointing out like, this is the Marvel villain every fucking Marvel movie should have had. And it was really fucking good. I really liked it.
That's awesome.
So the only criticism I've heard from anyone who's seen it was that they didn't like some of the CGI, which I didn't have any problems with. So
What would you rate it?
honestly, I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
It was really fucking
Damn.
good. When we left, I
Pretty
was
good
like,
on the Atom scale.
8 out of
Yeah.
10. Really good. And then the more I think about it, the more I'm like, there's only a couple things I didn't like, and I can barely think of it. And all I think about is all these different badass set pieces that they had for action scenes. And I'm like, man, that was just a really fucking good movie. And they kind of turn like a lot of the superhero tropes on their head, where it's like the testing out your powers thing. Well, it's like he already has his own powers. They kind of have a scene like that, but they don't have to do it that way. So, and the acting is just really fucking solid. Like, Forrest Whitaker is his like mentor.
Oh, wow.
And his mom is Angela Bassett, for Christ's sake.
Jeez.
So,
Like
and then
star-studded.
yeah, I
Yeah.
saw
Like
a really
more famous than the main dude.
I saw a really good meme because Martin Freeman reprises his role as that one guy we can't remember from Shield.
You know.
I think he's a member of Shield, and then Andy Serkis reprises his role as Claw, which is a villain for Black Panther, who is in Avengers: Age of Ultron, and they're like the two only white guys in the movie, and they're both it's Gollum and it's Bilbo Baggins. So someone said like the token white guys, and I was like, that is so fucking perfect. But yeah, it's really good. There's some emotional scenes in it too, and they all play really well. And honestly, like even the emotional scenes for Michael B. Jordan, who plays Killmonger, are just as good as they were for Black Panther. And they develop him and his backstory like really fucking well.
That's cool.
So if you don't like superhero movies, this is a nice change of pace. I think you might actually really like it. So
Maybe I'll check it out.
the end credit scene is like worth waiting for, but at the same time, it's just like, oh yeah, I guess I stayed for that, didn't I?
Yeah.
You'd have to know about the other movies and
Yeah.
what's
Okay.
going on with the character.
Otherwise, it's just pointless.
Yeah.
So it works as a standalone film completely because Wakanda's kind of a standalone country.
Right.
But yeah, almost glazed over it.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. There's also a new cool handshake where you like slap someone's hand twice, then you cross your like arms near your chest. He does it, and I'm like, yep, I'm gonna have to start doing that now. So that's everything for me.
Cool. Not in order. Jesus.
Sorry.
Robin, what have you been watching?
Oh man. Oh, Yuri on Ice.
Oh,
The anime. Oh my god, it's so cute.
Have you seen it before?
No, I just started watching after the Olympics.
Oh my
And
god.
Yuri on Ice is what kind of an anime?
An ice skating anime.
I don't
Figure
know that,
skating?
and like I'm sure a lot
Oh,
of
it's
people
all
in the
about
audience
figure
don't.
skating, and there's 2 Yuris in it. Like there's a Russian Yuri and a Japanese Yuri. It's cute.
The first thing I thought of was just your dog on ice, by the way.
Yui on Ice.
Yeah, that was the first thing that came to my mind. Was
That's funny.
dog on ice. Nice.
What's funny because I was playing SAO and Yui came up and I was like Yui, and then our dog comes up. It's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, not you, Yui, the other Yui.
Wow.
Your namesake.
But yeah, so I've been watching Yuri on Ice, and I don't think and catching up on How to Keep a Mummy. It's so cute. Yeah,
What's
it's
that?
another anime about
Jeez.
this tiny little mummy that this kid like gets from his dad in Egypt, and it's the cutest little mummy ever. It's like not in love with him, but it's like his favorite person ever. So as soon as he leaves for school, it cries a whole bunch and then dries itself out. So it's like this wrinkled up mummy, and he has to put water in it again. It's cute. I
I've
don't
seen
know.
it like in passing on, and I will confirm it's like the cutest mummy I've ever seen.
Well, that's cool. Yeah. I've been watching a bunch of random stuff because there were limited English options.
I hear you
Oh,
went to
really?
Flavor Country when you were
Oh
on
my
vacation.
god.
Flavor Country.
Yeah, so one of the only channels that was like always in English was the Food Network.
Oh,
So
cool.
I got my mom semi-hooked on Chopped. And then, like everybody does.
Right.
And then we ended up watching some of like worst cooks in America or whatever. And then the worst days, we ended up watching Guys
worst
Grocery Games, which I didn't realize was Triple G. And then on the even
Oh,
worse
my
days, we
goodness.
ended up watching Triple D.
Oh my
Diners,
goodness.
Drive-Ins, and Dogs. They're dogs.
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 That would make for an interesting dining experience.
That would be a lot better,
Right.
I think.
This dog sandwich is so good.
Ew.
It's a lot different in Panama.
When we weren't watching that, though, we watched Forgetting Sarah Marshall, because no matter where I go and I end up at a channel that plays movies, I end up seeing that. It's like
Really?
such a good movie.
It
I
really is
love
such a good
that
movie.
It
movie.
is a good movie.
I saw it for like the 10th time. And then I watched...
Was it unrated? What I'm really asking is, did you get
Did
to
you
see
see
Jason
his
Segel
D-
dong?
Yes.
Okay, good.
And Mila Kunis boobs.
Boobace. I heard it was a
Boobace.
photoshopped photo. and
Really?
Those aren't her actual boobs.
Wow.
Really?
Yes, according to IMDb.
Yeah, well, IMDb felt the need to post that. Wow.
It's in like the trivia. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
she wanted people to know like those aren't my actual tits.
I'd
like,
like to know. Send us a picture.
Mila Kunis, giant nerd chill skin. Go ahead and shoot Robin a picture at robingrace@nerdchills.net. I hope someone out there is smart enough to Photoshop really gross tits on Mila Kunis.
No, don't do that to me. I can appreciate me a nice chest.
Wow.
Good to know. I could too when we played Sea of Thieves.
Oh my god.
And titties as well.
Oh,
so.
and some booty.
And booty. Oh, I missed it. Wow.
Other than that, I watched some of the more recent X-Files because they were playing like
Is it good?
Well, they're playing a run-up to the new stuff, so I didn't watch the new stuff. I
So
just
you watched
watched some
last
of
season
the previous,
of,
yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then, so, fun thing that happened, I thought this was hilarious. So there was a movie each way, going there and coming back. And on the way there, it was a stupid old people movie called
Old people.
Going Out in Style. It's about
Yeah.
like old men that rob a bank. It was
Yeah.
okay. It was like not the worst thing I've seen, but still. My mom really enjoyed it. Anyways, so on the way back, we watched Thor Ragnarok.
Really?
Nice.
Oh, that's
Yes,
funny.
and it was not. It wasn't my thing.
It's just like they decided to make it a comedy.
Yeah, it was a lot of humor,
Yeah.
and I didn't think, like you were talking about, like character development. Like I didn't think there was much character development for like Hela,
No.
and
Ella.
I was
Sorry.
not really into it. But the best part was like about halfway through, my mom takes off her headset and she turns to me and she's like, "How can people watch this?" And I was like, "Wow, we really are related."
That's so funny. Because it was like the best rated Thor movie. The
Yeah.
first one is okay. The second one was hot garbage. And this one was like, all right, we have the characters. We're not going to develop anything. We're just going to tell a bunch of fucking jokes. And for whatever reason, make the God of Thunder and the God of Mischief use guns. And
Yeah,
you're just like,
it was weird.
Okay. And then everyone's like, stupid fucking Justice League. See that CGI take off his mustache? I'm like, yep. Double standard.
I did enjoy the Jeff Goldblum part.
He's very
I
good as
liked him.
Grandmaster.
I really love when
They
she's.
said that he basically had no lines. They just told him like what the scene was.
Oh, really?
And they're like, just be Jeff Goldblum. Just go ahead.
I just really love when she says slaves. He's like, I hate that term. And
Right.
she's like, I mean, what does she say? Like poor people with jobs or
I
something?
can't remember. It's like like something like indentured servants forever that we
Oh, yeah,
employ.
servants with jobs
Yeah.
or something.
So good.
But yeah, I thought that was great. Other than that, I was like, meh. But yeah, that's what I watched. CJ, what have you been watching?
I started watching Stage 2 for the Overwatch League,
Oh,
which
nice.
has been really good.
Are the Koreans gonna
anytime-
come back?
No. So it's really weird. So, like, if you watch traditional sports, the season ends, next season starts, you kind of know going into it who's going to still be on top, and then there are surprise teams. Whereas with Overwatch League, it completely flipped. Like, all the bad teams are now good, and all the good teams are doing really bad.
That's awesome.
It was just really weird. And I
Cross.
think it has a lot to do with some of the bad teams, like Florida Mayhem, to be specific. They haven't done the best so far, but on the old patch for Stage 1 was when Mercy still reigned supreme as the best support. Well, Florida never had a very good support player that was a good Mercy. They were good with Zenyatta and Lucio, but now that Mercy's gone and that paves way for the other supports to be played more often, they're now doing
dominating.
better because they planned ahead, I feel like.
How's the
it's
Shanghai
kinda
Dragons? How are they doing?
They still haven't won, but they play it so close.
That's how they were the
Every
first
time,
stage too. They were
It
like,
looks like they went up 2-1 in both of their matches so far, and it's like, oh my god, they're finally going to get a win. And then they just like kind of do some small mistakes, and there it goes.
as a Cubs fan who got a championship in 2016, I feel like I need to root for the Shanghai
Wow.
Dragons. It's like, you guys are going to be good one day, and I'll be like, I was there from the beginning.
But other than that, the only thing I watched was the new Godzilla anime that was on Netflix.
Is it good?
Oh,
It's pretty good. It's a little weird. So all the humans basically left Earth to run away from Godzilla and then decide to go back to Earth like 20,000 years later. And of course, if you leave something like that that's super powerful to reign over all of existence, that planet becomes his. So he's kind of pissed off that they're back and just tries to kill everybody.
I like it.
That's
So it was pretty good though.
crazy.
And I guess there's supposed to be a season 2, so we'll see what happens. That's about it.
Nice.
So,
Take it away.
ladies and gentlemen, without further ado,
good job.
we have our first ever Stump the Nerds. And Stump the Nerds is going to be a little game that we played. Charlie introduced it last episode.
And it was incredibly popular.
It was. We had so many emails. We did pick a game. This is how it goes. So, for the people who are submitting us emails, you email nerdchills@nerdchills.net. You say the title of a game and then 5 clues that they can guess at. I will then read it to them. I'll read one clue, and they can say, I know what it is. Panelists, if you guess and you're wrong, the other panelists will know you were wrong and what you guessed. If you are right, they will know you were right, but not what you guessed, because that would give it away to them. For every clue that is remaining that has not been missed, you will get a point. So if you guess it right off the bat, you're going to get 5 points. If you guess it right at the end, you only get 1 point, but it's still points. But if you guess, and it's something where it's like, well, it could be this or it could be that, and you guess it's this, and I'm like, no, she guessed this, then everyone knows it's that. So be careful with your guesses. That said, once you think you know what it is, through the magic of editing, send me a message on Facebook directly to me, not in the group, and then I will let you know on the air whether or not you are correct or not.
All right.
Okay.
That way you guys can guess without letting anyone else know what your guess is. That way if you're right, you get to talk a bunch of shit and laugh at the other contestants while you wait to see if they get it or not. So,
All right.
phones out. Here we go. The first hint is shooting. The first hint is
Do we get are there any
Shooting.
penalties for guessing early?
you don't get to guess ever again.
Oh, geez. Okay. Guess I'm waiting for hint number 2.
Does anyone want to buzz in yet?
No, I'm good.
CJ, you good over there?
No, I'll go hit number 2.
Okay, I was going to say, if you get this, I'll crap my pants live on air. The second clue is space. Would anyone like to buzz in now?
I think I might. Does it have to be, if it's like, is it like a series or like, but I mean, like, would you
I
do
picked a specific game.
specific game? Okay, maybe I'll win.
Correct. The third clue is pigs.
Oh,
Do we have anyone buzzing in?
I'm going to buzz in.
Charlie has guessed incorrectly.
Oh no!
Charlie went with
She's out.
Star Wars Angry Birds.
I was thinking that.
That is
Really?
not correct.
You guys played that game like so much.
We did, and it's terrible because it always saves your clips even when you miss. So everyone gets
The
to
memories.
see how terrible you are. The fourth clue is strippers.
Strippers? Space
So-
pig strippers.
Space pig shooting strippers.
It's not forming a sentence. They're
No,
just individual
They're just
clues.
Space shooting, space pigs, and strippers. I don't know, man.
This game
CJ?
sounds stupid.
This is not good. I can't think of very many games that include strippers. Not that I have a horse in this race anymore.
CJ, you there?
I guess I have to wait for another clue.
Yep.
Oh shit!
All right, and the last clue is sunglasses.
Oh. What? CJ, you were so good last week when we were practicing.
I know.
You
Okay. Sent mine in.
You sent yours in?
Yes, I did.
Robin has submitted an answer, and it is correct.
Yay!
CJ,
Did you?
what do you got?
I'm throwing over my guess.
CJ has submitted an answer, and it is incorrect.
Oh.
CJ said Saints Row. Robin was correct with the answer
I thought about Saints Row.
Duke Nukem.
Ah, I've never played that game.
I've never played that game. All I know
Wow.
is like guns, babes,
Exactly.
sunglasses.
I almost said
was
babes
the-
instead of strippers, but I was like, babes is pretty easy to understand. Or it's like it's in a lot of games. Strippers is very specific.
Yeah.
In fact,
I
in
just
Duke
know he
Nukem
wears
3D,
sunglasses.
you can hit spacebar at the strippers, and you hand them a digital dollar, and they take their top off and show you digital titties.
Wow.
What?
We did
So
all get this game.
for the year, Robin is in the lead
Wow.
with 1 point.
Nice.
Congrats,
What?
Robin.
Oh, because I
You
had to
waited
use,
until the
dang
last
it.
clue.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, one's better than none.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I do hear that 1 is the loneliest number that you'll ever do.
Aw.
Is it do or no? Or
Do.
B?
Please do.
All right.
2 can be as bad as 1, but it's the loneliest number.
Wow. Okay. Anyways. That was fun.
Thank you for that.
Cool. So if you guys want to participate in the game or stump the nerds,
Not if you want to. You have to. It's
yeah.
required.
If you're listening to this, it's required to send a suggestion to nerdchills.
Obviously, we're not good, so it could be a lot of fun for you. You get bragging rights.
Like Duke Nukem is pretty mainstream. I'm 32, so I played it when I was like 7. These guys
That
were.
was my
CJ
one.
I was
wasn't
say
born.
maybe that's it.
These guys were
I
like
wasn't
1.
even alive, so I'm screwed.
But they remade it, so I don't feel bad.
When
about
did it come out?
Duke Nukem Forever came out like 2010. Sounds right.
So CJ was
You were alive.
20.
But Duke Nukem
No,
came out in
he
like
was
92.
20.
Oh,
he was like
yeah.
17.
I was 3.
So.
So
Suck it, nerds. So, Stomp the Nerds.
Oh,
I'm going to make
wow.
a theme song now. So cool. That's been Stump the Nerds. Seriously, guys, reach out to nerdchills at nerdchills.net, or you can contact us in Discord.
Yeah.
Be very careful. Send it directly to me. Do not send it to the channel, because then everyone will know what your thing was.
Free points, though. I mean,
That's true. Just depends if you want to give points away.
yeah.
And order your clues, please. I got so many emails this past week where people didn't order their clues. And it's like, you don't want to give strippers away right away. It's like only 3 games that have strippers, so
Please play. It seems fun.
it does.
It is
We
fun.
want to keep
It's
playing.
like really fun. I liked it.
Cool. So what's
Right.
next, Charlie? What's on the next agenda item?
Next will be CJ with the Microsoft news.
All right. Well, anyway, Microsoft news. So somebody, I didn't really understand this article, but somebody knows how to get the Xbox One X working with the Kinect through several modifications
Yeah, I dropped this one in there.
to the Kinect itself.
It's so funny because it's like, oh, they found a way to get the Kinect to work without the adapter.
Wow.
And it's only like cracking the fucking thing open and stuff.
Yeah. In the picture that I see right now, it says step 1, acquire a steak knife. So you only have butter knives in your house, you're screwed. But yeah, so I don't really see why you would want to do this.
Because Kinect
don't-
adapters are going on eBay for like $150.
Steak knives are way cheaper than that.
But it's to connect it to the Xbox One X, which doesn't support it anyway.
It does. You just have to have the adapter.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
never mind then.
Do you have
Um,
adapter? I'll take
Is
it.
the second step, is it buy a steak knife and then stab someone that has the Kinect adapter and then steal the Kinect adapter?
Oh my God.
Life hack.
I thought it was going to be carve your own eyes out like Sam Neill in Event Horizon. I am home.
It is not, surprisingly. It doesn't really explain in the article what the steak knife is for exactly.
It's just good to have.
I'll reach out to them though and see if they can just give me a YouTube video to watch
That's
of
best.
them doing it maybe.
It'll be like that
But
one
if
guy
you
who
want
sets
to
everything on
avoid
fire.
paying for the adapter and you are pretty good with a steak knife, I guess. Typically you would say like power tools or something, but if you're good with a steak knife, you can now use your Kinect on your Xbox One X without price gouging yourself.
Don't accidentally stab your Xbox One X with the steak knife.
Rather than be price gouged,
Yeah.
gouge out your own eyes.
Next big thing is all the games you'll get for free in the month of March, which is right around the corner.
It's crazy.
It always screws me up in February because I feel like there should be like 5 more days, but there's not.
Poor
We
Black History
have-
Month is almost over.
It's so shitty they gave him the shortest month. It's just not fair.
At least I got Black Panther though.
It's true. It was so good.
It was very good. It'll make up for Thor Ragnarok.
That's funny.
I'm going to see it on Thursday, so I'm super excited.
You'll enjoy it.
March 1st through the 31st, so all month, you can get Trials of the Blood Dragon. It's normally $15.99. It is, of course, free
It's
with your
Far
gold
Cry.
subscription.
It is Trials mixed with the Blood Dragon stuff from Far Cry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool. That's interesting. I like
Trials,
the theme
like the
Trials Fusion.
motocross
Yeah.
with dragons.
with like the 80s veneer of the Blood Dragon expansion to Far Cry. It's
So it's got
It's
basically
I'm like,
imagine
what?
Trials with all the crazy colors of Blood Dragon from Far Cry.
yeah.
She doesn't.
It's
uh,
an
Is it purple?
It's a
Yeah,
lot of
it's got
bright
some
Lots of
purple.
bright
purple.
neon colors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Panama.
Sounds cool. It's
then-
like cosmic bowling.
Yes, that's a very good description.
Yeah.
Nice.
March 16th through April 15th. You get Super Hot, which is originally $24.99, so $25 game. It's not too bad.
Named after Robin.
Oh, fancy. I don't know too much about that game. I haven't played it. Have any of you guys played Super Hot?
if not,
Besides Adam, apparently he plays it with Robin.
Oh,
Stop
God.
it.
wow,
Stop.
chicken, wow. What's up, Phil? Suck it.
And then we have our
Can't
two
hear my head shaking.
Xbox 360 / Back and Pack games. March 1st through the 15th. Brave, the Disney Pixar.
Cannot
movie,
wait
like the
to
redheaded
download
hunter
some
lady.
Brave.
It was really weird. I
Right?
just heard you roll your eyes so hard when he said back and pat, Charlie.
There's literally
that
okay.
a
There's
cat?
only
There's a cat.
Yeah, there's a cat
Oh,
in
it's so
CJ's
cute.
house.
Oh yeah, always. She only comes to life when I'm recording. It's really annoying.
She's dead otherwise.
Oh my god.
Yeah, pretty much.
Podcasts are like Pet Cemetery. People sometimes dead's
Got
better.
a zombie cat over here. So, why are you rolling
wait.
your eyes over there for the
Has
back pat?
I
Are you
just
upset?
that phrase is just hilarious. Back compats.
Sorry, I'll pronounce it fully next time.
No, I think
No,
it's
it's- no,
hilarious.
it's what they
Stop
say.
yelling at me
That's
over
what
the
they said
internet.
at the Xbox conference, too.
Yeah, they kept saying back compats at the Xbox.
And you could just hear Charlie
I
like,
was just
in
like-
the entire event
it just made me
cackling
laugh.
madly. It's like 700 people in this event, like exclusively. Like Phil Spencer's like back and pat, and you're
But
And then we have
has anyone
a
played that
puzzle
Brave
game
game?
no.
that
No.
is available from March 16th
wait.
to March 31st.
Which one?
Typically $10. Quantum Countdown.
Oh, okay.
No clue. Never played it.
Yep.
Never heard
So
of
it's
it.
from the Portal 1. The designer for that game, Kim Swift, and Airtight Games came together to make this one. So
Cool.
if you like Portal, you might like that game.
I heard that.
And that's what we have for free games. It's $69+ in value and 3,400 gamer score.
I think
Those
it's
of you out there that
really cool.
have to beat your wife in gamer score.
I think it's really cool. I thought you were just gonna leave it at beat your wife.
Oh my god.
You think that's really cool? Okay.
I think it's really cool they actually tell you how much in gamer score, because I have friends that are like gamer score nuts, and they would go to GameStop, get a game, get all the achievement points off of it, and try and get it back in time. And like he used to text me and be like, "This is a really good game for Cheevers," and I was like, "I don't know what that is." He's like, "Oh, achievement points." I was like, "Oh, I forgot you suck."
back compats for Cheevers.
So those are your back and pats. Those are your Cheever points, ladies and gentlemen.
I can't wait to see all the dudes playing Brave to get their achievement points.
Everyone needs to be a pretty princess every now and then. So
Yeah.
She's a ginger though.
it's true. That doesn't mean she
She's a
can't
daywalker.
be a
Oh,
princess.
is it Daywalker?
Yeah, she doesn't have freckles, so she has a soul.
I thought she does have freckles.
I
I
don't
don't
think she
know.
has
I've
a lot
never
of
seen
freckles.
it. I don't watch.
I've never seen it either.
Yeah, random
Me
movies
neither.
without you. So
All right.
if you walked in and saw me watching Brave, you'd be like, "What is wrong with you?"
What?
Like, watch Frozen like a normal person.
Oh, fuck
Right.
yeah. Frozen.
That's
my jam.
So my last article, if you were one of the many people that back in 1997 had a Nintendo 64 and wanted to run around killing dinosaurs, you probably know of Turok Dinosaur Hunter
Who
and
doesn't?
Turok 2 Seeds of Evil. They are both launching on Xbox One on March 2nd,
Those evil
remastered.
seeds.
So, from what I've read and what I've seen, a lot of people are excited about this. I have personally never played the game, so I will be trying it for the first time.
I remember it being
And-
fun as a kid, but as an adult looking back on it, I'm like, I feel like it's gonna suck, but maybe not. I'll give it a shot.
Dinosaur and survival games are so popular now. All the kids want to play Ark, and
Ark.
there's the one other one. What is it called? Primal Carnage on PS4.
I think you're just making up titles now,
No,
Charlie.
that's a real thing.
Yeah,
Lego Jurassic World.
Lego Jurassic World.
Raptor battles. That's where raptors battle each other in rap.
T-Rex arms, where you put your arms in your sleeves.
I still do that every now and then. I do it to pump myself up in the morning. What's really funny is I actually made fake profiles for you guys when I was like updating Nerd Chill's website. By the way, guys, go check out nerdchills.net. It's awesome. And
I'm doing it right now.
for Charlie's, before I think we actually wrote one. It was all about your predictions for 2018, Raptors taking over the world. And then your next one was like, more games about Raptors.
Oh my goodness.
So, all tied in. Yay!
All right, cool. Is that that's the Microsoft news?
That is it for Microsoft news. We are done.
All right.
So play my outro.
Yes. The noise again.
Nailed it.
Conveniently, your outro is Charlie's intro. So, there you go.
Okay, so next I'm going to tell you guys about the Sony news. I didn't have a lot of Sony news, but I had a couple of things I found.
Sony Network is down again.
No, unfortunately, not anything that exciting. But there was an article about updating your profile. Apparently, you can now do that on the website. And a lot of people were really excited because they hate the app. I have not ever downloaded the PlayStation app, but apparently it is hot garbage.
I have downloaded it, and I tried to mess around with it a little bit. And I wasn't really... I didn't have a goal in mind, so I was like, oh, this isn't bad. I feel like when you have a goal in mind and you can't accomplish it, that's when you're like, this thing sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, they've made it like, apparently the website itself, My PlayStation, is really, really easy to use. And you can see all your trophies, you can see messages, and your friends' profiles. You can even see who's online. And that way you can find out whether your friends are playing the game you're thinking about playing with them or hopping onto without having to worry about this awful app. So I guess that's cool. Just go back to the website if the app's not working well. The next article that I have, I don't know if they're going to continue to do this, but it's an interesting concept, I guess. From last Tuesday until March 6th, PlayStation Store is doing a deal where if you spend the first $100 you spend on the PlayStation Store, you get $15 back.
That's not bad.
That's not bad, yeah.
I don't know if they're going to continue doing it. It does not stack, so if you spend $300, you don't get $45 back.
That's lame.
But yeah, it is.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, it's lame.
But it's cool that they're doing something, and it's interesting, and I think that this is maybe a way of them exploring if they can encourage people to buy digitally because of the sale. So we'll see how it goes. It's kind of something different.
Yeah, this is true.
But yeah, that was my super unexciting short Sony news. Play my outro. And now we'll go over to Adam with the Nintendo news.
Pour some sugar.
Oh my god. Of course, it's pour
Oh,
some sugar.
nice.
Yeah.
In the name of love. So, Nintendo news. We're going to get so many copyright strikes on this episode that no one listens to.
What are we doing here?
I don't know what's happened in the past week. The first thing I have is a really fun article regarding Zelda Breath of the Wild, and that when they were developing the game, they actually considered giving the players control over the weather. I find it really fascinating because the weather plays such a big part in the game, especially when you're trying to climb anything.
How
if
would
it's
you have
raining.
control over the weather? You're not God.
You could have probably just given them an item where they could do that, or something on your Sheikah slate where you could actually adjust what the weather was doing.
Or in like Animal Crossing, you just change the date to wintertime and then it's snowing.
Or change your location to Australia, and then it's always sunny, and
then
there's
you can
spiders
play it.
everywhere. Just rain spiders. But it's really cool because I think the reason they're talking about this now is because they're considering this for future content. And in the past, with games like Wind Waker, you've been able to control like the direction of the wind because that served a game mechanic. And it certainly makes the game more challenging when you just have to figure out a different way to do something because you can't climb, which you depend on so much of the game when it just starts raining. And like
You
when
can't climb when it rains?
when it rains, it's very difficult to climb. You slide all the time, and it eats up your stamina.
It'd be cool if you got like struck by lightning.
You do, in fact.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, and
I
the
didn't
game,
play enough of that game,
right?
clearly.
Obviously, I should have mentioned this before we voted for Game of the Year and took your opinion into account. But if you're
Hey, I
wearing,
played enough of it, okay?
if you're wearing any metal items when it's storming and it's a thunderstorm, you start to flash. You have about 10 seconds to take your metal shit off, or you get fucking destroyed by lightning.
That
And
is hilarious.
if you go to your inventory, it'll show like a lightning bolt on everything that's metal. So like you learn pretty quickly to change your fucking gear rapidly to stuff that won't get you killed.
Is it like cartoon style where like it flashes and you can see his bones, like his skeleton inside
No.
his body, and then he like turns black and his hair is standing straight up?
It would have been better because I really thought that Ganon's castle had like a surrounding like force field or something that wouldn't let you go past without getting struck by lightning. And I was like, oh yeah, you can run to Ganon if you could make it through the lightning field. And then I didn't realize that when I was running there for the first time just to check it out, it's because I had metal shit on. And then the first time I went to the inventory menu, when it was like thunderstorm out, it started showing me like the lightning bolt icon and all my metal shit. I'm like, motherfucker, I get it now. So after that, it made it way easier to not get killed by fucking lightning bolts.
What if you just like wear rubber shoes and
Don't
put
think
something
that'll
over
work.
yourself?
Yeah. You could drown yourself in water? I think that would work. Yeah. You drown pretty easily in water too. So,
Oh, there you go.
but yeah, I think it's fun, and I wouldn't be surprised if they brought that to the game in a future patch, which would be super cool.
That'd be awesome.
Second article I have is regarding Sega's Shining series. The most recent installment, Shining Resonance Refrain, is going to be coming to the Switch, and it's going to be coming to our side of the planet, finally. Apparently this series is very big in Japan and has not normally made its way to the West. So something exciting to look forward to for individuals who are fans of JRPGs. So that's pretty cool. And The next article is another port, because it's been like the week of port announcements. This one I'm not sure how well it's going to go over. They are going to be moving Payday 2 to the Nintendo Switch.
Didn't they already do it?
I don't know if they've already done it or if they're just deciding they're going to bring it over.
I thought it came out and people were like, no. I saw one thing that said, well, I don't know. It could have been a preview or a review, but it said like Payday 2, mo money, mo problems.
It is not out on the Nintendo Switch yet. It's going to be coming out on February 27th, so in a couple days.
Oh, man.
The problem is that they don't have any sort of voice chat capabilities, so if you were going to play this
You
super
don't need that.
cooperative, necessary game, you're going to have to kind of get on Skype with your phone. Who the hell knows? So
With strangers, no less.
what's really funny about it is I would be really interested to see if this game still sells better on Nintendo Switch than all the other consoles, because all these other games seem to be doing it when they release. But yeah, this next one I'm going to let Charlie go over because she's been super into this trailer.
Oh, is it already that time?
Oh, wait, hang on. Panama! Panama!
Yeah, so they dropped a Detective Pikachu trailer, and I just found it fucking hilarious. I cannot wait to play this game. It comes out like February 23rd. No, I'm sorry, March 23rd. I wish it was February 23rd. That's like yesterday's date.
And don't forget, it's being adapted into a live-action movie.
Starring
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan
No,
Reynolds.
it's not.
Yes, it is.
You're lying to me.
Ryan
It
Reynolds
sure
as the
is.
voice of Detective Pikachu.
Oh my gosh. He's gonna. Oh my gosh.
I really hope he...
This is where
I just hope
They're
they
jumping
dub,
the shark right now.
I really hope they just dub in his dialogue from Deadpool 2. That'll be perfect.
So, as my dreams are coming true right before my eyes, Pikachu has a really gruff old man voice, and he drinks coffee. And most of the time, he hangs out on the back of this kid who apparently you're like helping find his father. And in the meantime, you're also solving like Pokemon related mysteries. But yeah, it's interesting and it looks silly as fuck. And I cannot wait to play it, but I think it might turn out to be a train wreck.
That's so funny.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, for sure. I've got my Pikachu Detective amiibo pre-ordered and the game.
Oh my gosh, there's gonna be an
And-
amiibo.
Yeah, and it's like for no reason twice the size of a regular amiibo, so
I
it's going
want
to
it.
take up like your whole screen on the DS. I don't know.
Can I also pre-order it? I just want it.
I'll check and see if it's still doing stuff. But yeah, no, I just found the trailer to be hilarious. Go watch it at least for some laughs. I don't know.
Go watch it and email Charlie at nerdchills.net.
Sure, do it.
So that's really all we have. I had an article in here also about fun Pokemon Go event that was occurring, and it occurred 2 days ago. So that's the problem with weekly podcasts. Check out nerdchills.net if you want to read those articles in a timely fashion.
Otherwise, get fucked.
Right. Otherwise, get fuck nuggets with New Blue.
Oh my god, shut up.
So, moving into additional news, this is actually kind of cool. Ulduar, which is a raid from Vanilla WoW, or World of Warcraft for the layperson, is returning for like 1 week only.
So it works like, for any World of Warcraft players out there, it works like how they did Black Temple. So it'll be around for a week, and then it'll get added into the queue of what they call time walking dungeons. Well, now it'll be time walking raids. So this week was Ulduar. 2 weeks from now will be Black Temple, and then they'll both go on hiatus until May, where May 22nd Ulduar will be back, and then a week after that Black Temple will be back.
I could not even begin to keep track of all that.
It's like the
Right?
Disney Vault, basically. The raid is only
Yeah.
available at certain times, and then you have to wait like...
But the thing is, it's not.
The moon is
So-
in centigrade and Capricorn is in the sky.
Did you say
What
the
makes it
sky?
fun for people is it takes you back to raids that were a lot harder than what it is now. Scales your gear back, scales everything about you back to where like you were just playing it again back then. And you get to, a lot of those armor sets are really revered, a lot of people like them, and you have a chance to earn that armor again the hard way instead of just going on your level 100 to an area that's supposed to be for level 60s and just one-shotting everything. And they give like special, if you complete it in that first week, they give you special items, special cosmetic tweaks, things like that.
Cool.
cool.
So for Vanilla WoW fans, good news. So that's awesome. Moving along to the next article. I think everyone's kind of been waiting for this and wonder where the franchise went, but Skate 4 is rumored to be releasing
Fucking
in
finally.
2018. I don't know what
Jesus
took them so long.
Christ.
I'm actually kind of excited
It's
to
been
play
like
this.
7 years.
It's
Has
been
it really?
it's
We had to
2010.
suffer through another Tony Hawk.
Yeah, it's been since 2010.
Oh,
so.
is Tony Hawk not good anymore?
No.
Tony Hawk hasn't been good since I was a kid.
I mean, so I played Pro
Pro
Skater.
Skater
I
2
think
was, like,
I
my favorite.
downloaded it somewhere. It was supposed to be a little broken, but not like the worst. But still, Skate. Everyone just wants to play Skate. It's like,
Yep.
why would
So-
they not come out with one?
Interestingly enough, keep your eye out for an official announcement on that, and hopefully we'll know soon.
Yeah.
Moving along, this is part of the sad "What the fuck is wrong with you people" news. But a 12-year-old Fortnite player named Raleigh Ranchers, what a fucking name, is the most recent victim of a swatting prank where he was playing Fortnite online, and for less than looks like less than 1,000 subscribers. But yet someone thought it'd be funny to call the fucking police and get a SWAT team to bust down his fucking door while he was playing. If you want to watch the video because you're a sick person, go ahead and do it online. It's just, I understand that things like this seem funny, but that guy was
Did
like,
he get shot?
no, it's a 12-year-old. They're not going to walk in there and
Well,
be
thank
like,
God.
he's got a mouse, shoot him, take him down.
I don't know about
But
that.
when you're an adult, like that guy was 28 with 2 kids like a couple months back, and he just got fucking gunned down. He wasn't playing any video games, nothing like that. So
I can find you some 12-year-olds that got shot for no reason.
this is very true. So it didn't happen to him, but it's just like fucking stop swatting people. It's not even fucking funny. Like they bust through the door, the kid cried. I guess it's kind of funny, but it's not that
Oh my
fucking funny that you need to
God.
risk someone's life. So stop it. I'm just saying, if I'm not doing it to anyone, you shouldn't be doing it either.
Wow.
So
Are you being a role model right now?
I am not a role model. I've said this before, I think, on other podcasts. So moving right along, you guys might actually like this one, since you hate all the other shit we do. Harvest Moon's creator
Oh, yeah, I put
is
this in there.
creating a new game called Little Dragons Cafe.
I was so excited when
What?
I put this article in. I was like,
I posted this one on Nerd Chills, and I was like, oh my god, they're going to be so
What's
excited.
Little Dragons Cafe?
So, it is a game where you have to raise a dragon while you run a restaurant. So, it's basically all the shit that you'd ever want in a game. Yeah, I don't know. Under mysterious circumstances, you play as a brother and sister. Or the game stars a brother and a sister. I don't know if you play as both or one or the other.
Named
and-
Jamie and Cersei.
Shut up. And for some reason, your mother, like, falls into a deep sleep. And in order to wake her up, you have to raise a dragon. So, you're,
What?
like, raising a dragon while running a restaurant.
As a child?
Yep.
Oh my god.
You know, that old video game trope.
But this is the cute picture.
Oh, look at the little dragon.
And again, if you want to see the cute
cute.
picture, you can check it out at nerdchills.net.
Yeah, so you are going to care and feed your tiny dragon, and you have to grow produce, fish, cook, and manage the cafe. And then you have to cook for hungry neighbors and help them solve their problems. And that will raise your customers' happiness and your popularity. And it's coming to Switch and PS4.
Nice.
Yep.
It's not
So-
Xbox One.
Nope.
I am totes excited. I don't think there was a date of any kind, but
Yeah, I didn't see one in the article.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it sounds super amazing. I want to play. It says the game is no, sorry, that's something else. It's been developed for 2 years already, and will release sometime this summer.
Cool.
Yeah, so I am super excited.
Nice.
Awesome. And then these next few articles you dropped in, Charlie, so go nuts for donuts.
I thought this was pretty cool. They are finally re-releasing or remastering Burnout Paradise.
Yeah, it's funny because one of the guys on Podcast Unlocked always asks them to remake a Burnout game, and I think this is the one that he's been asking for
Probably
like 5
Paradise
years.
is really popular.
So it's kind of awesome.
Yeah, so it's going to be out March 16th. It's only going to be $40, and there aren't going to be any microtransactions. I saw an
That's
article
hilarious.
That's so funny.
that said, like, no microtransactions in this game. I don't know if it was real, but it had a quote from EA, and it said, please put your pitchforks down.
Wow.
That's great.
But yeah, so I think that'd be really cool, and if it does well, maybe they'll re-release an actual game for the series, but it's been a long time.
Like Skate.
Didn't you show me a meme for EA earlier today where it was like
EA's found a way to make you win at games easier, and it's a picture of a credit card slot on the bottom of an Xbox controller.
Nice.
It's pretty
That'll
solid.
happen if EA buys Microsoft or vice versa.
Right. That would be horrible.
My next article is about the new Battlefield. There's rumored to be a new Battlefield coming out. They're going to drop a trailer sometime soon. They've
It
said.
wouldn't shock me if they did what they did a couple years ago with Hardline, where they're like, we're going to introduce the game and then say you can play it right meow.
Right, meow.
Right meow.
So they've basically all but confirmed the next Battlefield. They haven't said anything about like the setting or the date. All I know is this year is shaping up to be a little crazy. This fall it's going to have like a Call of Duty, a Battlefield.
I could just see them.
Red Dead.
Yeah.
They're gonna announce it, and be like, and look under your chairs.
It's a SWAT team member.
My biggest takeaway from this article, though, was that they're going to be having gameplay at EA Play, which is that fucking crappy event we went to last year.
Where you
Gosh,
could,
where we
we
got
were in line for
burned
2 hours to get in, and we got in. They're like, sorry, Battlefront line's already closed at like
Yeah.
9 a.m.
We didn't get to play anything, did we?
We
Need
played
for
Need for
Speed.
Speed after
Okay.
waiting for a very long time.
I'm like, wow, that was fucking garbage.
And we had to pay
Yeah.
for all the food and drinks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Except for
we
a
didn't
monster.
get wined and dined like we did at Bethesda Land. That's all we're saying.
Yeah.
Bethesda's a much better company.
Honestly, it was not great, and I would not go back unless something changes dramatically. At least a change of venue, because the venue was really far away from where E3 was, which made it hard to get to. And then you got all the way the fuck there after your like $30 cab ride or Uber, and it wasn't worth going to. So I don't think I would do that again. But they are going to have it playable, and it is going to be an event before E3, so it's open to the public if you register. I don't know when registration will be. They haven't said that yet.
E3 or EA Play.
EA Play.
Okay, yeah. I would guess like April. They always wait till like 2 months before to do it.
But yeah, they are going to do another Battlefield, and if you're interested in Punishment, you can go and play it at EA Play if you're one of the lucky few.
The only game I'm really thinking if I went to EA Play, I would be able to play and interested to play, because I guarantee you by the time I get there, this thing is going to be just full.
Yeah.
Is that co-op,
Just packed with
the
people.
co-op prison game that they announced last year?
A Way Out?
Yeah, and I think that does look very
Like a
interesting.
$30 game.
Really fun, so we'll see what happens with it, though.
Okay. My last article is about 3 new Rick and Morty board games that are coming out.
Oh my god.
There are like 4 Rick and Morty board games if you include Monopoly.
Which I do, because
And
it's fun.
It blows my mind how many of them they are making. The show's about to enter its 4th season, or we're waiting for the 4th season. And I'm surprised you didn't put the article in here about McDonald's making more Szechuan sauce.
Yeah, I was just going to bring it up when we talked about this one. But
They're
yeah,
making more Szechuan
more
sauce?
Szechuan sauce. Szechuan sauce is
Sauce.
in stores as you're listening to this Monday, February 27th. I think that's the date. So that means go there right now. But they said they're going to
It's gonna
send
be
out
the
like
26th.
they said it's going to be like 20 million now.
Yeah, they're doing a lot, so hopefully it won't be as ridiculous. Either way, try to be human when you go in there, because we all saw the ugly side of humanity when we had that last event.
I'm taking a pickup truck filled with boards, nails, and hammers so I can board it up and burn it down if they're out. That's all I know.
But anyways, so the board games that are coming out, there's a Rick and Morty, The Ricks Must Be Crazy multiverse game. It's an engine building game.
Engine building.
Yeah, it says in this engine building game, 2 to 4 players take on the role of Rick, Morty, Zeep, and Kyle as they introduce power-making technology to different worlds.
Oh,
That sounds awesome,
I know
kind of.
what you're- Yeah.
So yeah, that's the first one. The second one is the Pickle Rick game, which is a single-player or 2-player game in which one player takes control of Pick Rick as he attempts to escape a compound.
It's very much like the episode for Pickle Rick where he gets in a compound with a bunch of Russians after he turns himself into a pickle and kills everyone. It's so good.
And the last one that they announced, which is my favorite just based on the name and the art for it, is called Rick and Morty's... it's a Rick and Morty deck building game that's called Rick and Morty, the Rick Shank Redemption.
Oh my gosh.
It's a
Wow.
2 to 4 player deck building game featuring a set of council cards that cause players to vote to enact new rules, dramatic time effects, and other mysterious situations. But I just love the art and the name.
It just looks
Amazing.
ridiculous, or re-riculous, if you
Yeah.
will.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, those are the 3. So if you're a fan of those games, like I know Wade, who's been on the podcast before, he owns all of them, mostly due to Andrea buying them.
That's so funny.
But it just blows my mind. They're going to be on like their 8th game.
Right. It's a very rabid fandom, and they want to consume everything there is out there for that series. So
Yeah.
I
Get
kind
it
of
while it's
understand
hot.
it because it's really fun, but don't act like pieces of shit as often. And yeah, I think you'll be better for it.
capitalize, and who knows how long Rick and Morty will last.
Yep. Dan Harmon's attached to it. It'll probably last as long as it wants to, because that dude's a fucking genius. Also, check out Harmon
Yeah.
Quest. I don't know what service it's on, but it's a live-action Dungeons and Dragons that while they play, they have it animated like whatever they're doing.
That's so cool.
And it's fucking hilarious.
But yeah, that is all of our news.
Cool. So we can power right ahead into the main topic, which basically involves an orange cartoon villain deciding to say that violence in video games causes people to shoot up schools, which is bullshit.
Well, let's see. So
Really stupid.
what I will say is that it's not just that one person. There have been a lot of politicians speaking out about this issue, and I don't know, it's kind of frustrating when politicians get into anything that they don't know much about, which they tend to do.
Which is pretty much everything.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Especially now.
I'm a lady, so I'm used to this, where a bunch of politicians decide what's good for my health and my education when they don't really know anything about
That's why me and
running.
CJ set the lady bathroom schedule whenever we're recording Nerd Chills, and we don't involve you guys, because that's just how it works in this country. We make those decisions for you.
So once again, I mean, it's kind of like the loot box thing, where I just felt like it was kind of them jumping on a hot topic that didn't really need legislation.
They should legislate Hot Topic. That place is a fucking mess.
Yeah.
It's just a scapegoat, basically.
It
Yeah.
really is. This is the problem,
It's-
is that something bad happens, and just like it did in Columbine, they want to blame music, and they want to blame video games. And it's like, maybe you should blame shitty parenting, a failure of a system that's systematic at the core level, and, try and adjust those things within your own society before you start blaming things that are a reflection of it.
I just feel like responsible politicians typically consult experts before they say things. Like, if you really care about a subject and you're hearing people say that
Robin almost sneezed. We were waiting for it.
that things need to change, then you should want to learn as much about that subject as you can before you weigh in. And I don't feel like they're
Open your
they're
mouth.
doing that.
No, they're not. It's a knee-jerk reaction to make it seem like, I care, I have a solution, please don't vote me out of office.
But yeah, basically the quote that spurned this debate was quote was, "I'm hearing more and more people say the level of violence in video games is really shaping young people's minds." And I just don't know exactly who these people are that you're
Yeah.
hearing. Like, I don't know if this is like news contributors that are saying this or just like people on the street. But he suggested that we needed a rating system for video games and movies, and we already have that.
For both of them.
The problem is that
Yep.
you have to be 17, for example, to buy an M-rated game, but you don't have to be 17 to play an M-rated game.
Yeah.
You just have to have your parents' permission. They just buy it for you. It's like an R-rated movie. You can pretty much take your kids to an R-rated movie if you're there saying it's okay. So it still comes down to the parents' choice, and most parents are choosing to let their kids do this. And also, I really don't see the negative impact necessarily. I don't think there's really any correlation.
No, like every real study that they've ever shown proves that it doesn't increase aggressive behavior. Like during a game, you might become increasingly competitive, but you don't become increasingly aggressive after the fact. At the golden age of gaming that we're kind of in right now, the games that do very well are these indie games that don't have anything to do with violence, like things like Firewatch, where it's like a walking simulator and it's a story told through dialogue, or Gone Home, or What Remains of Edith Finch, or Journey, or all these other games that are about understanding a feeling and making a human connection. It has nothing to do with violence, but people that don't play games don't fucking understand that, and they just see mainstream games like Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto shape our youth. It's like, no. When we have people send in their top 7s, I don't think I've ever seen a Grand Theft Auto on it. It's all games that had significant impact for how it made you actually feel. Like games like in my youth were Final Fantasy VII, where people were shaped by the death of a character that broke their heart, or a plot twist that made them rethink how they thought something would go. Not like, oh, my favorite games are all the games I get to fucking murder people.
Truthfully, I think that when kids are really young, they don't do a good job of distinguishing reality versus video games. Like, I've heard a lot of stories about kids, being violent towards their siblings, not seeing a difference between video games and reality.
But that's for any medium, though. People
Yeah.
do that with cartoons. Like,
yeah.
they see, Roger Rabbit hit someone in the face with a frying pan, so I'm going to hit my brother with a frying pan.
My whole thing is there's never been a
Did you hit your brother with a frying pan?
Shut up. No one needs to know about that.
There's never been a story where it's like these kids didn't distinguish between the difference, or they didn't see violence as something serious, and that's why this happened. It's usually they're troubled. They have mental disabilities. They have problems at home. They have different issues going on. It's not like, oh, I just thought it was no big deal because I kill all these people in the video game. It was like they have other problems.
It's a compound of all these fucking problems, and literally, if you remove video games from society as a whole, it's still going to happen.
Yeah.
And you're just going to point to a different thing that says that's what taught them violence, and like, okay, well then take violence out of the news, because if a kid decides to watch the news or read a fucking book, even a history book, where it's like, oh, how was America founded? Well, they killed all the fucking Native Americans, then settled on the land, then 100 years later started telling people to get off their land.
Yeah.
Like, you're welcome, America. There's your history of the United States. It's like, why do our kids have problems? Like, well, because the world's a terrible place sometimes, and you're not raising your fucking kid, and anytime people say, like, there's something wrong there, people ignore it. And the mental health issue within this entire thing is that there's terrible fucking mental health care in this entire fucking country. It's a society of people who want to look the other way because it's not their fucking problem. And then it's law enforcement that are handcuffed because they can't do something because a person's rights are more important than public safety. So I have experience from this. I have a lifetime of experience trying to get someone who is a danger to himself and others someplace where he couldn't hurt himself and others. And quite simply, like, law enforcement don't have any fucking power. You call an ambulance instead of a cop when something like that's happening, because they can actually take someone to the hospital and get them put into a psych ward when something bad is happening. And people are pissed off at this because they're like, well, there was 39 reports that this person was dangerous. It's like, yeah, you're absolutely right. There's 39 reports, and we can't do a fucking thing
until he does something.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to. Like, call us. Like, I have literally been told in my life, like, call us when he attacks you. Hopefully you guys can give us a call and we can come there and stop it until then. Yeah. And you can't just drive someone to a nut house and be like, hey, they're crazy, lock them up. That's just not how shit works.
Yeah.
So you have to actually have a system in place where people that need help can get it, and people that want to speak up about it aren't fucking ignored. And until that happens, stop blaming video games. It's just a cheap fucking cop-out.
Yeah. I feel like they just, like, walked into this person's room and we're like, we got to find something to blame this on.
What's
and
on his poster?
Like,
that's what.
Well, he's got a PS4.
It's like the forensic
Guess
files.
we'll just blame it on that.
He watched a lot of pornography.
Right?
It's like,
yeah.
Anyways, but I don't know. I think that it's the whole point that is hard. It's hard to control. Is that your parents inevitably have the choice? Like, you can make. Right now, you have to be 17 to buy an M-rated game. If you change that to 21, it's still that someone who's 21 can buy that game and give it to their child. So, I mean, you're not really fixing the problem. If you really feel like that's an issue, maybe you should put some money into research and then prove it to people and change a parent's mind. But, like, that would be the only way to do it.
As soon as they get the answer...
Changing the age is not really going to change anything.
Where it's like, violence is not increased in, like, adolescents or adults whatsoever by playing video games. In fact, in most cases, afterwards, they become more confident. Yeah. And in most situations that we put them in, they're able to solve puzzles better. Because that's the actual research that came back. Yeah. And they didn't like it, so they let the violence of video games issue drop until it's a convenient scapegoat. And it's like, that is such horseshit.
But yeah, the other time that this was brought up was around Sandy Hook. He brought up the same issue, President Trump did. He was a candidate at that point about Sandy Hook and how their violence of video games had contributed to Sandy Hook, and I don't see it. I mean, that person, again, had horrible mental issues, shouldn't have had access to weapons. So the second part of this issue is another article that surfaced is that a representative from Rhode Island has decided that he's going to propose a tax increase on violent video games. And once again, I just think it's really silly. His idea was that you could dissuade people from making purchases of violent video games by increasing the tax, and then all the money can go towards, quote, counseling, mental health programs, and other conflict resolution activities. But once again, I mean, to your point, like, not gun manufacturers, not toy gun, not BB guns, like, paintball guns.
Guns and ammo.
The fact that guns are everywhere is insane.
Yeah, guns and ammo are very fucking expensive. That doesn't deter anyone from getting one of those.
But, like, the fact that you can buy airsoft guns for your kids or paintball guns and stuff for your kids, like, that doesn't do anything. Like, it's so stupid.
I don't know. I just think the idea of a tax is so dumb. But it's just like, first of all, it's not going to fix anything. Second of all, video games aren't the issue, but it's going to be up to a parent to decide that for their family. And if you want to really stop people from buying video games, I don't think that's going to do it. No. And I really don't think
age restricting anything doesn't help. Look at how many people drink and they're under the age of 21. Look how many people smoke under the age of 18. Like, age will never restrict anybody in this country.
Well, I mean, music has been a pretty common one for a long time. Like, I think I've told you guys about, like, one of my favorite documentaries ever made. It's about a wrongful conviction in a murder case, and it's called Paradise Lost. It's about 3 kids who were wrongfully convicted of a murder of other children, like younger children. They were like teenagers, and these kids were really, really young. And it got overturned probably a decade ago now. But one of the reasons that they were accused of it was that they dressed in black, they listened to Metallica, and it's funny because during the whole documentary they play Metallica because there's a lot of pretty tame Metallica songs that have like a real message to it, but it's just like people making quick judgments about things they don't know about and don't understand. And I just would hope that our leadership in this country would be able to take some time to actually learn about something before they decide to create a bill.
I agree.
Someone was telling me that the most recent training that elementary school kids are being taught is to start like running around, throwing up paper, like basically trying to be the hardest target to hit, because if you're in that room, you're probably going to be dead, but you can maybe save the next kid. So like
that's
like
so sad.
Super young kids, that's what they're being taught, to like throw paper and run around and make it as hard as possible. That way maybe he won't get to the next room.
Yeah, and then like, we'll give the teacher a gun and let them.
Oh my god!
You know what's so funny about that is like, I heard all this shit growing up about Saddam Hussein in Iraq. It's like he keeps kids around him because they're human shields. It's like, can you imagine being a soldier and having to shoot a kid? Well, now you want your fucking teachers to do it. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. And a kid that they knew and probably tried to help, if they come in with a gun, they're the ones that are going to be responsible for killing that kid, to put him down. It's like, or, I don't know, do whatever you can to help someone who's hurting or in pain or in desperate need of help, whatever case may be, whether they're mentally ill or whether they're just like, had the worst life you could ever not imagine, because most people can't put themselves in anyone else's shoes.
I feel like that's like giving a doctor a gun. Like,
it's like, what happens if fucking that administration officer got shot up in San Bernardino? Well, every office worker needs to carry a gun now.
Yeah.
People are stupid.
They are.
But, yep, not video games' fault.
Agreed. It's not video games' fault, though.
Agreed.
Cool. I think we covered it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shit got real.
It did. It was a very serious topic, so wary a little bit about going there, but I think it needed to be discussed. It's going to be discussed more.
We'll be more playful next
You're
week.
going to hear more politicians blame video games. So
we'll try and make it fun next week.
right.
Yeah.
Be the generation that makes the change.
Do you have any other bumper sticker catchphrases for us?
All right. Well, this has been the Nerd Chills podcast. I am Charlie, and you can find me on the Twitters at Charlie_NC as in Nerd Chills, and that's Charlie with an EY. You can also email me at charlie@nerdchills.net. CJ, where can the people find you?
Twitter is at Sacred Infinity. You can email me at sacredinfinity@nerdchills.net. If I do any live streaming throughout the week, it'll be twitch.tv/sacredinfinity. Yeah, that's about it.
Cool. Adam, where can the folks find you?
The Twitter handle is at the Adam Diaz. You can also email Maylum, MAYLUM @nerdchills.net, and I stream on my personal Twitch, twitch.tv/Maylum. I have a new 6-hour clip of Sea of Thieves.
6-hour clip?
That's not so long.
Those two
very long
words.
video.
I have a new 6-hour movie.
It's a 6-hour archived footage of
Okay.
a stream that's Sea of Thieves. If you want to see what that's like, it was very, very fun.
It's actually a documentary.
Yeah, it is shot in real time. And in fact, it
The
is
making
shot
of
in real time.
Fuck Nuggets or
Fuck
whatever.
nuggets. Adios, fuck nuggets. But yeah, you can also reach out to me about the contest by emailing nerdchills@nerdchills.net. You can go on the website if you're confused about how it works, and there's a tutorial on it.
It's mandatory. Go do it.
Any listeners still listening have to go do it
You don't have a
right now.
choice.
Yes. Robin.
At the Robin Grace at all social media outlets and on Vero now. Woot woot. That's new.
Vero?
Vero.
Oh, yeah, I totally
I don't know
forgot I
what that
did
is.
that.
And it was down
it's
today,
just
too.
new. It was down. It's up now. I just posted about Nerd Chills, but yeah, it's kind of like Instagram and Facebook all in one thing. So you can post like books, movies, music, and all that stuff.
Someone's trying to Zuckerberg all the social networks at once.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I like it. Because you can have, it's like LinkedIn in there too, because you can connect with people and have them be like either your acquaintances, friends, or close friends. And
You're really bringing me in with that LinkedIn reference.
I love
The
LinkedIn.
other social network
Sorry.
I don't pay attention to. Nerdchills has an official account too. You can search
cool.
Nerdchills and find it.
Yep.
So
So if you're into Vero, check that out. You also have an Etsy shop.
Yep. Robin's Kawaii Corner. Kawaii.
cool.
Yep.
You
All
guys-
one word. Sorry.
You guys can also kick us some money on Patreon. We still have that. You can still donate.
We do still
It helps
have
us
patrons,
a
so
lot.
thank you guys that donate.
Yes,
we really
thank
appreciate
you for sticking
getting
with
your
us.
episode slightly early this week. We had a scheduling adjustment due to vacations and stuff, but you
Sorry.
guys understand.
Where was Charlie?
As in...
Panama.
Oh, jeez.
Cool.
All right. Well, this has been episode 60 of the Nerd Chills podcast. Picking randomly Adam. No, CJ. Why don't you sign us out?
Oh, I get to go? Okay. Well, everybody, it's been a long week. Happy to get this episode out of the way. I think we all are.
Out of
And
the
we'll
way.
see
Out of
you-
the way.
Right.
Douche.
It's like
Sorry.
It's like when you go to get married. Like, happy to get this out of the way.
Happy to get this. It's not the words I was looking for. But anyway, take a chill pill. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Bye.